I am truly willing, although it ticks me off. I will grit my teeth when I do it. But I am willing to pay more if I know it is truly going to a plan that will pay down the national debt, for example, or if you're talking in the city and county to put them on a fiscally responsible path. I get that. Yes, that may be the case. But I will not do it, and I will not support it until there's a true plan going forward. Problem is, when you get to the local level, you've still got these looming problems like the stadium levy or the stadium fund. My golly, what a debacle. It just continues to suck money. It just sucks money out. You got to find a way to deal with that. I'm going to give you some of the details on the County Indigent Fund and get some calls in a minute. Quick note, though, we've got some revenue enhancement on 71 North between downtown and Ridge Avenue. Revenue enhancement, 71 North between downtown and Ridge Avenue. Mary in Westwood. Is Mary cool?
Yeah, it could be.
All right. It said Mary in Westwood, and I was guessing. Do you have information on the voter registration cards? Because we had a question on it.
Yeah, two real quick things. Yes, almost everybody who is out every night collecting signatures have voter registration cards, which means if people aren't sure, we're going to register you anyway, and that's the safest way. And
Right.
If you're already registered, then the Board of Elections can just pitch it. If you've moved and you forgot to re-register, if you got married, a different name, whatever, we can pretty much try to fix any issues that you may have by just resubmitting a voter registration card. It takes like 2 minutes to fill it out, so it's no problem. We're all trained to do it. We know how to do it. And the other thing is, I just heard just the back end of you saying with Tom Lucan or somebody that you were going to go out on Tuesday. Do you know where you're going to be? Because if you don't,
I told Chris wherever you guys want me, and we'll make a night of it.
Well, that will be fun. So maybe during drive time at rush hour, we'll come up with a really great centralized location for you and take advantage of your support and your, microphone.
I'll do what I can for you. Just let me know where you want me.
Well, as always, thanks for your help, Doc.
Absolutely, Mary. Thanks so much
All
for
right,
checking in. Thanks for the information. All right, the reason I bring this up about we've got all these different angles. You've got some of the outstanding problems like the stadium fund and what are you going to do with it, and then the harebrained scheme of let's roll the property rollback forward. Now, Greg Hartman has suggested, and there's moving parts to it, but suggested a new half-cent sales tax increase for the county. He said that would be after the economy improves. That's what he's saying. And it shouldn't be done without a property tax, some sort of property tax break for property owners. The problem with that is you're doing it on the backs of people that are coming into Hamilton County. That's the advantage of a sales tax, is because it targets not just the people that live there or maybe even work there, but the people that travel through and buy donuts and cheeseburgers and cars or whatever, go to a ball game or something like that. And although that's attractive to people, if you're in a county, you say, hey, I get other people to pay for it. Cool. And you certainly should, in some cases, take advantage of that draw you have when you're a county like Hamilton County, knowing people that are going to be, coming downtown and coming to a ball game or something. Sure, there's nothing wrong with taking advantage of those things and getting some other people to pay for those events that they like to come down and see. The problem is, if you make it so high, it will become less attractive for them to do those things. And because the city of Cincinnati and Hamilton County are kind of the hub in the tri-state, it affects all of us. Not to mention the fact that there are other taxes on people or other fees that people have to pay when they were to go into Hamilton County or to downtown specifically. Like you have to pay to park quite often. There are taxes on some things you may already buy. Do you need more taxes? So, although I understand county commissioners are struggling right now, and there aren't a lot of new dynamic ideas, maybe they'll have to do that, and he's not talking about it now. It shows you there's not a magic bullet to this stuff. The indigent care levy? Well, Greg Hartman has suggested that they want to give, or his plan would give, a $5 a year break on the tax bill for the citizens of Hamilton County, property owners. And that would That would certainly save them $5, but it would take some money out of some areas. It would be, let's see here, for the Children's Services Levy, the plan would bring $38.8 million a year. They say $2 million less than the average amount in the current 5-year cycle. And it would bring in, let's see here, $38.8 million. University Hospital would take a $6.5 million cut. That could be frustrating. They got a balance. Saves you $5. Now, you might be somebody that says, you know what, $5 isn't a lot to me. And I certainly support the indigent care levy. I would support that over a streetcar, but I'd support darn near anything over a streetcar. And maybe the indigent care levy is a good thing, and maybe the hospital shouldn't lose the money. I would say at this point, if the citizens of Hamilton County voted for the indigent care levy, and the monies that are raised via that have gone to the places that they are supposed to go, such as the hospital, if that's what they said the levy is for, that's what it should be for. Just like it should not go to, the criminal justice system or anywhere else. That would be wrong as well. If they said it should go for this and they were willing to tax themselves, that's where it should go. My problem is the editorial in the Inquirer. I am so sick of hearing it's only $5. At the national level, it's only $500 million. I'm so sick of hearing it's only a certain amount of money. That's very small. That doesn't matter. It all matters. And the attitude that it doesn't matter because it's a small amount is what it's gotten us in so much trouble. The editorial in the Inquirer, although they support the indigent care levy and say, forget saving $5, and I agree with them on that part, their position that it's only $5 is wrong and actually outrageous. I think it's borderline irresponsible. Not for the paper and editorial, but it's an irresponsible opinion to have. To say, and this is what it says, this is their opinion piece. It says the commissioners should not reduce the vital levy, which county voters have long supported to help those of us who cannot get health insurance. Hartman and his two colleagues should restore the full funding. They should consider a cut's potential harm to University Hospital and the people it serves. I'm not going to dispute that, but I will dispute the next line when they say, for what is county leadership apparently willing to risk this harm? A lousy $5 a year? They're doing two things there. Number one, for what is county leadership apparently willing to risk this harm? Yeah, it may harm, but what they're doing is scaring people. Risk this harm. You're ginning it up on emotion. And then to say for a lousy $5 a year, a lousy $5 a year. Well, I'll tell you what, Inquirer. How about all the people that have a subscription to your newspaper pay you $5 less a year? How about that? Would that be okay with you? After all, it's only a lousy $5. Is it okay if the people that have a year-long subscription pay you $5 less? Or all of your advertisers all pay you $5 less a year? It's only a lousy $5. You know what they're saying right now as I say that? Well, no, Doc, that all adds up. That's all. Exactly. It all adds up. And although it's only a lousy $5 from an individual, it all adds up on that individual from everywhere else. The lousy $5 that you call it, or the lousy $300, or another levy that adds another $50, or another tax on cigarettes, or whatever else it is. It all adds up just like all of us paying you $5 less a year would add up to your bottom line pretty quickly. A lousy $5? I want every lousy $5. Inquirer, you may not, but I want every one of my lousy $5. Doc Thompson on the big one, 700 WLW. Doc Thompson at 700 WLW. Quick phone calls here. We got Daryl in Hamilton. How are you, sir?
Hey, Doc, I just wanted to point out, I mean, it's all obvious the absurdity about this rail system, the cost putting it in, the cost of upkeeping it. But I don't think anybody's pointed out what is going to happen is that the only people that are going to ride the thing are probably going to have free vouchers to do so because they can't afford a ticket.
From what I've heard from the Portland one, that people game the system all the time and don't pay at all.
I mean, they got free cell phones. I mean, where's the outrage? Because the commercials for the free cell phones depict an older black lady, and then the other commercial shows a Latino woman with a child. Why aren't they screaming out that you're typecasting people?
That's a really good point. You're right. We're going to end up paying for those subsidies on that end as well. We'll subsidize the tickets in general more than likely. Well, of course, that's what we'll do. And then there's a possibility that we'll end up subsidizing them on the individual level. I got to play a couple of quick clips of the president, though, because he turned 50 yesterday, which, yeah, he had his age ceiling raised, which I say is only kicking the can down the road. I mean, because a year from now, he's just going to have to raise it again. But he went to a big fundraiser the night before last. This is part of his birthday, and this is what you do when you're president or you're running for big office. You fundraise, and you make a big deal out of every little event, including your birthday. So he had a big birthday party fundraiser. And while there, he made a very curious statement about the change we can believe in, his campaign a couple of years ago. Here's the clip.
But the thing that we all have to remember is that as much good as we've done, precisely because the challenges were so daunting, precisely because we were inheriting so many challenges, that we're not even halfway there yet. When I said change we can believe in, I didn't say change we can believe in tomorrow, not change we can believe in next week. We knew this was going to take time.
Wait a minute. We haven't gotten the change we could believe in? He didn't say tomorrow, next week. We're only halfway there? That does not sound right. Because if I remember on election night, he said this.
It's been a long time coming. But tonight, because of what we did on this day, in this election, at this defining moment, change has come to America.
Wait a minute. On election night, he said change had come to America simply because he got elected. But then the night before last, he said this.
That we're not even halfway there yet.
Wait a minute.
When I said change we can believe in, I didn't say change we can believe in tomorrow. Not change we can believe in next week. We knew this was going to take time.
That sounds contradictory. A couple of years ago, he said change has already come to America. And now he's saying change hasn't yet. He's only halfway there. That sounds contradictory to me. Unless, of course, you know what's really going on. He's campaigning again. Just campaign speeches, that's all it is. So he needed to feed the masses some red meat, and he said change had come to America, and they all went, woo! But he's now campaigning again. So a couple of nights ago, he said he needs more time. And the halfway there? Think about it. If on election night he said change had come to America, and now he's saying we're only halfway there, what he's saying is, if you want the full change to come to America, then you've got to give me 4 more years. To get the full change, he needs 4 more years. Doc Thompson on the home of the Reds, 700.